Okay, honoring the life of Nicholas Ziolkowski, take 497,825.2-A. Okay, so Nicholas. I've been waiting for this one, man. One of my favorite humans ever born. Okay, so my favorite story about Nicholas Ziolkowski. All right, so before I get into the story, you got to understand the type of guy that he was, so then you understand why it might not seem that big of a deal, but it really was a big deal for a guy like me anyway. Okay, so in the Marine Corps infantry, there's the regular infantry guys, then there's the snipers. Okay, now the snipers have a tendency to kind of walk around like their crap doesn't stink. Okay, and all the snipers watching this are gonna be like, yeah, because it doesn't, and I totally get it, right. Hogs for life. I understand. But all that aside, and secretly, we're all, us regular infantry guys, we're all just a little jealous of you guys. For the record, this is the only time I'm going on record saying it. So there, I said it, it's out there, I ain't talking about it anymore. But, because Nicholas was such a humble guy and whatnot, that's never the kind of thing that bothered him or went to his head or that he lorded over anybody, ever. Okay, so Nicholas was the type of guy that, in talking to him over the months that I got to know him, he really viewed it as we were his responsibility. Us regular infantry guys were the object of his protection and the reasons why he did what he did and pushed himself the way he pushed himself, and so on and so forth. So for him, it was really more like I have a very unique capacity. I'm trained to a very specific skill set. So it is my duty and my obligation, my honor to use that skill set to protect people, in particular, my brothers in the regular infantry. Okay, so that's the attitude that he carried around him wherever he went with whatever he did. Okay, so that being said, there was one time where we were out in Combat Town on Camp Lejeune, not Mount Town, but Combat Town, and we had done some exercise, and we did some flanking maneuver, and we attacked this objective and whatnot, and the snipers were attached to us in an overwatch position, and we were having our debrief, and the way that the debriefs go, especially in Bravo Company 1-8, it wasn't really like, okay, first platoon was supposed to do this, first squad was supposed to do that, blah, blah. It was like, what is wrong with you? You're supposed to do it better than that. You can be better than that. We were always pushing ourselves, just grinding on each other, okay? So in this like kind of edgy scenario, here comes Nicholas, pops off his Kevlar, like the sun's shining behind him, he's ruffling his hair, dude's in slow-mo, and he's just like gassing us up, like, oh my God, you guys are so freaking good. That was amazing to watch you guys, like the way you came around that flank and then you guys held just for the perfect amount of time, because he was in an overwatch, so he could see all of us, right? So he's just gassing us up and praising us and all this other kind of stuff. And I find myself looking at him while he's doing all this, and keep in mind, I'm a badass squad leader, right? So, snipers aren't nothing cool to me. I've shot the range high twice. I'm better than half of those guys anyway, and blah, blah, blah. Legend in my own mind, right? So here's Nicholas, and I find myself looking at him like, I'm going, wait a minute. Am I fanboying this dude? Like, who is this guy? He's freaking incredible. He was such a positive energy everywhere he went. So when he came down and he was gassing us up, I just remember thinking to myself, like, this might be the greatest human being that's ever lived in this moment in time. Right here, I'm watching it. Well, this is amazing. He's like an angel from God sent down. So I just wanted to put that out there. He's the type of guy, he always, the thing I admired the most about him was that he always had a capacity for the love of his fellow man that was just always astounding. He never lost his humanity. He was always someone who could be above the fray. You know what I mean? Like, picture yourself in a group of people that get really downtrodden. The morale is very low. Things are getting desperate, dire. People are just really you can see it on their faces. The weight of the responsibility that we were carrying in Fallujah was just making all of us crack and making us all hunch over and get very small. And then Nicholas was like, yeah, do you guys see the sunset? That's incredible. I'm like, dude, you're a sniper, man. You're like a bona fide killer. The dude is lethal. And he's just like, oh yeah, God is good, isn't he? Look at this, you guys. This is incredible. I'm like, these two things don't, and I'm very good at this kind of thing. And Nicholas was just like so natural, so smooth, so cool about the whole thing. Where he'd even like, I remember we got to the edge of the city, we had just gotten the news that a bunch of insurgents had squirted out from our push down, so we had to go back through and clear the entire city, house by house, door by door. Basically, we got about 10% of the city cleared, and we had to like go clear the other 90%, even though we thought we were done. So we were all kind of angry, we were all kind of like depressed, and just worried about a lot of things. And Nicholas goes walking by, and he rubs my head, to like encourage me and keep me going and lighten my mood a little bit. He's like, "We got this, bro. Don't you worry. We got this." And I'm like, "Dude, we just climbed Mount Everest, but we found out it was just like a molehill compared to what we're gonna do, and we got this." And you're just like, "Yeah, yay!" But that's how he was, man. Like nothing fazed that kid. Nothing. So, Nicholas, if you're looking down on us, man, we love you. We miss you. We're doing our best to live a life that honors the sacrifice that you made and who you are to all of us. It's never gonna leave us, man. Ever. Ever. All right, man. We miss you. Bye.